And we are live. Hello to everyone in Embody Reiki. This is for you. This is just a little mini class that Deanna and I are putting together to really talk about a topic that has been really top of mind for a lot of us lately. And it is in energetic boundaries and energetic hygiene. So when you are an empath and you are taking in everyone's stuff and you're working with clients, you have to be able to figure out how to manage that experience. So that's what we're going to be talking about for the next few weeks. Deanna and I will come in and do some some short conversations, probably not longer than 20 to 30 minutes. And so if we haven't met yet, if you haven't met Deanna yet, I think all of you have. So and if you haven't met me yet, I don't know what's happening. So
your stuff coming up now, like, oh, okay.
So I think we've all met. I'm not worried about that part. Let's just jump right on into this. So if you're live, great. Say hello and let us know that you're here. If you have any questions about energetic hygiene, being an empath, energetic boundaries, anything in that regard, running sessions with people, being around other people's energy. If you have any questions about any of that, please post in the comments, post in the group, reach out to us, let us know. Hi, Chantal. Yay. Let us know what you got going on. So if you're on the replay, just come back, rewatch this. I am the queen of replays. I never watch anything live hardly, so I really understand you if that's you also. So, Deanna, what's on your list there? I saw you were making like a little list.
You know, the Virgo in me, very organized.
Yeah.
I thought I had a 9 a.m. Turns out it's 2, so I got to catch you both live. Yay, Chantel!
Yay!
So my list, so energetic hygiene, it's funny because I was kind of jotting down the things that we do for energetic hygiene and then for boundaries. And they kind of muck together.
They're definitely together.
Yeah. And so so how about if we just discuss like the difference between energetic hygiene and energetic boundaries? Like let's separate the two, but again, they intertwine.
Yeah.
So for me, energetic hygiene is just keeping my channel clean and clear. Mm-hmm. Like that is really a big thing for me is the hygiene. And then for me, boundaries is with other people. Yeah. Or not even other people, other entities, like my dogs. My dogs can like take over and just, energetically just take so much from me. Sometimes my house is a mess. And that is so, you would think like, oh, it's just your house. No, but for me, it really is a thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the way it feels when my house is in disorder. Yes. It makes me feel like I have dis-ease. But yeah, and then boundaries is like other people and allowing other people to affect my mood and where I'm at and stuff like that. So I think that's the difference between the two for me.
Great. I love that. I want to talk about the boundaries first. So one thing that I actually really love, and I think that Chantal said this, the way that she said this in a post one day really brought something home for me. And it's about energetic boundaries. And it's about being the boundary, right? Like when you are the boundary, I have always said, when I'm in alignment with myself, everything falls away or falls into place, right? That's like always been the languaging that I used around that. But then I felt like I had different boundaries for different people. So I would have a boundary for the dog, or I would have a boundary for the husband, or I would have a boundary for the child. But really what it really actually comes back to for me is that I am the boundary. And that means that when I am in alignment with myself and I am my own boundary, it doesn't change for other people. It just is me. That I then am really and truly not having to worry about having like protection and having all these boundaries around me. It's really about being in alignment with myself. And when I'm in alignment with my values, and when I'm in alignment with who I am and who I really am in the world, and I really understand what that looks like, I feel energetically like I'm Superwoman.
It's funny, we've had these conversations with Joy and like in Mind Shift, and we had long conversations about it, and it just clicked. It was like, if I'm in a higher vibration,
Right.
I don't have the fear of having to set those boundaries, because you call in that same level of vibration that you're at. When you're low, you call in those lower frequencies. When you're high, you call in the higher frequencies. And if I it just, like you said, if I just maintain my alignment, I'm good. Yeah.
And as we maintain alignment, and as we do raise vibration and raise frequency, we are able to manage things more easily, right? And that vibration conversation, the frequency conversation will come in. It does play a very large part in this. And also in the beginning, when you aren't like at a 540 frequency, it's important for you to understand how to manage that energetic feeling, right? So, what are some of your favorite ways of taking care of your energetic boundaries? What's one of your favorite tools that you use, especially in the beginning?
Shower.
Yeah, love water.
You taught me, again, you're my mentor. You've really guided me hugely in my journey. And that was one of the first things you taught me, was to get into the shower and cut cords.
Yes.
And that for me, and just getting in the shower and letting the water run, I just imagine like, okay, I'm washing everybody else's, energetic crap that's stuck to me, just rinsing it away. And that really helps me. And then also the visualizing of cutting cords, like that really helps me.
So let's talk about what that looks like. So I love the shower. Shower is my favorite place to shift my energy. Get into the shower, and I just imagine the water flowing over me, and I use language like, allow this water to wash away, to clear away anything that is no longer serving me. If you're working with your angels, your guides, like whatever that looks like for you. I used to really, really like be focused on angels. And so I would bring in Archangel Michael and ask Archangel Michael to clear my body of anything that was no longer serving me, and then fill my body with green healing light, right? Because it really just was like wash it away and then refill it with what I want. Right. And then what was the other thing that you just said? It like
cutting cords.
This is the COVID foggy brain.
COVID brain, yeah. Cutting cords.
Yeah. So what does it look like for you to cut cords?
So for me, it's funny because I don't do the angel thing. I just talk to God. I mean, I believe in God. I just
do whatever works best for you.
So for me, that's my, like, I have conversations with God all the time. And so I'm like, okay, let's cut these cords. And it's funny because it visually in my head, I see a guillotine.
Yes.
So it's like, ooh, in the front of me, ooh, in the back of me, on each side, across the top, across the bottom. Okay, it's gone.
Yes, I go like this.
Yeah. Exactly.
It doesn't look attractive on camera, but it's fine because I'm in the shower and no one's looking at me.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
And I always say with cords, I cut all cords to all people and leave only love, including to my mother, including to my family, including to my child, including to my partner, including to that client that I just saw that I really love and think is wonderful. It doesn't mean that you don't have connection. It just means that they're not feeding off of your energy and you're not feeding off of their energy.
Well, it just makes me think of energy vampires. So if you've ever had somebody who just sucks the life out of you, you feel so drained when you're done with them or they're gone. Yeah, that's what it makes me think of. And some people, like, I've had to release friendships recently with people like that. But you can't get rid of your family. So when I have family members, Yeah, so family members that drain the shit out of you, which I have a couple and I can think off the top of my head. It's yeah, those are the ones that, I try to limit my time with them, and I know going in, like, this isn't gonna be easy, but it's funny that you say you were talking about the energy and sending peace. For me in the evening, I like to, when I'm in bed, give everybody their energy back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'll do it with Ashley because a lot of times Ashley wanna sleep with me. And so I'll be like, "Ashley, you get your energy back.
That's
Katie, you get
right.
your energy back." Each dog gets their energy back.
It's really a loving act, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and then I feel lighter at the end of the night, and then I
Mhm.
feel like I sleep much better.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because you're not carrying all of the things.
Mhm.
When people say that they're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, they are literally carrying the energy of everyone around them. And it's a real thing. I mean, like, as a body worker, as a Reiki practitioner, as a coach, as a Pilates instructor, you see this. You see people who are carrying everything on their shoulders. They're up like this, you know, and they're carrying that weight. Hi, Mary. Good to see you.
Need to remember to do this at night.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
great.
love to do that too. It's like hand everybody back their energy. The clerk at the grocery store, the woman that you passed on the street who you were like, give her energy back at the end of the day or then in that moment. Just everyone who you connect with or interact with, including your animals, give them back their energy because it doesn't need to belong to you, right?
No. No, I love that. The other thing I like is a really good bath soak.
Oh, yeah.
And but with the bath soak, what I like to do is I'll get Epsom salts and I'll get my essential oils. And so, like, I have melaleuca, and for me, melaleuca is very protective. And
Mhm.
I don't feel like before when I first started Reiki, there was a lot of fear. Like,
Mhm.
oh, what if this energy in it? And I think all of that stuff is just in my head and my vibration. So I don't think about fear anymore. But I will add something into my bath water, maybe a
Mhm.
couple drops of peppermint, a little bit of lemon, some melaleuca. I'll drop it into my Epsom salts and then I'll soak it in. And I feel like that just draws all of that
Mhm.
negativity out and
Mhm.
really helps me.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
I miss having a bathtub. I don't have one. It's very sad for me.
Go get yourself one of those metal trash cans in the
I've been
summer.
looking. Okay, I don't know where I will store it. I mean, I know. I'm like, I need a bathtub, people. Yes, I love anything with water. Water is very clearing for our energy. It's really a beautiful way to clear energy.
And
Another thing that I like to do if you don't have a shower, I mean, like if you're like out and about and you're like not thinking about being in water anytime soon, is a light bath. Do you do the light bath still? Do you know that one?
do you mean the calling in the light, clearing you
Well,
out?
no, actually, we'll practice it together. So just if you have Reiki, great. And if you don't, that's okay too. Just using the energy in your palm. So just, yeah. So like start to create a little warmth, right? Get a little energy flowing, a little energy moving. And you are literally going to give yourself a bath right now. Pretend like your hands have soap on them. And you're going to just start to,
Okay.
okay. And then you're going to, yeah, don't mess up your hair except for if you're me. It
I'm gonna
doesn't
wash
matter.
that gray right out of my
And
hair.
then, right, I'm gonna wash that gray right out of my hair.
I
Let's
just do
just
that.
age ourselves just a teeny bit, Deanna. It's fine. Okay, and then, yep, and get under those pits and really just, and then just like really wipe it all off, right? So you're just imagining, and you're going down your whole entire body. And I actually, this is like one of my most favorite techniques, all the way down to the feet, and then you can just start like sort of tell yourself off literally, okay? And that to me just gets all of the stuff off of you.
Mhm.
Because let's be real, we're working with clients. If you're going to be a Reiki practitioner, you're going to be a coach or a mentor, you're doing sessions with people, they're coming to you because they have healing work to do generally. And they have all this stuff. And I remember for the last 20 years, I've been doing massage therapy and Reiki. And people would walk in and they would say, I don't know if you'll be able to handle my energy today. And I always say, I assure you that I have amazing hygiene and boundaries, and I can absolutely handle whatever you've got going, because what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. And I take really good care of my energy so that I can support you and not take on all your stuff. I'm not taking on all your stuff. I don't want all your stuff. It's not mine. It doesn't belong to me. And I know better than to take it all on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, and I've learned with that, like with Reiki, when I first started, and the first time I felt somebody else's physical pain, I didn't know, and you were in the session with us. It was me, you, and a couple other girls, and it was one of the girls in the group, and I won't say her name, but all of a sudden we were doing this Reiki, and I had this horrible sciatic nerve pain, and I was like, I couldn't even sit down. I was like, oh my God, my ass hurts. Like, what's wrong?
Yes, I remember this.
Yeah, and you know what? We were just attuned to like Reiki 1 and 2 and stuff, and so I was like, what is this? Like my clairs started, and from that, I've learned that I have to stop sometimes and say, okay, is this mine?
Yes.
Like, I really have to stop and figure out, like, even with my kids, because Katie gets like migraines or somebody has something going on in the house, I have to stop and ask myself, or if I'm talking to a friend on the phone,
Yes.
and I hang up and I'm still connected to that person, and I'm like, and I'll have to kind of stop and say, is this mine? Oh, it's not mine. Okay, I'm letting it go.
Right. And you are very physical and you feel things very physically. Yeah. You know, you might, so people might take things on and feel a physical, literal physical pain in their body. And you're like, wow, is that mine? Is it this person? Like, who did that belong to? Or you might be a person who takes on emotions from another person, right? That's like the kind of that classic empath, right? Someone who I used to walk into a room, I'd walk into a coffee shop and I would literally like feel like depressed and like I was going to cry, because I would start to all of a sudden feel everyone's emotion around me.
Yeah. Yeah, Mary's saying she started to tear up with Reiki last week with a client, but she caught it right away.
Good.
You know,
Yes.
it was one of the 2 that I was with. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. You probably know, but yeah, that's.
Yeah. I'd actually like to address that, because I think that's really an important piece, because sometimes we're picking up on their stuff. And so you might feel their emotion. It's okay to feel the emotion, I think, because you'll be able to clear it away really quickly when you get really good at this. But there's a lot of cues. This is why it's so brilliant when you're an empath and you are a healer, because you really do feel the things that people are feeling. And then you can say to them, boy, I'm feeling a lot of tears rising up right now. And I think that perhaps maybe there's something coming up for you. And they may not even be aware of it, right? And so you can utilize that as a tool in your toolbox to say, I think there's something that wants to be released right now. What's coming up for you? What's showing up for you right now? What emotion are you feeling right now? Where are you feeling that in your body? And then you can kind of turn it back to them. The other thing is that, especially when this is sort of a little off topic, but when I was really learning how to channel in the very beginning, I would cry a lot. And it's because the frequency of the channel is so pure that it would make me cry. And that still happens to me. Like if I'm in with a client and I have like a past loved one that will come through, or some sort of a guide that really wants to speak up, my cue is always that I start to cry. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's really this really pure frequency that comes through. And to me, it always is an indicator that I'm really that I'm really in it and really like in it with the person and really feeling all of the things. And it doesn't have to affect me for the rest of the day, right? It doesn't have to be a sad thing or like a negative event. It's just paying attention,
Yeah.
awareness.
It's funny you talk about crying, but for me, tears when I'm releasing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crying. It's just coming out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Yes.
let's see. So we talked about cutting cords, raising our vibration, baths and showers. Again, giving back the energy, energetic boundaries, bubble of peace. If I'm ever somewhere where I feel like, ooh, like again, we're really susceptible to other people's energies and energies, not just people, but spaces as well. Like when we were on retreat, that house was the creepiest fucking house. Oh my God. Um, yeah. Yeah. And then, so bubble of peace, I will just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to bubble myself up.
Yes.
And, or going into, it's called the Green Man store here in North Hollywood. And it's like a smudge crystal shop. My kids love to go there. But before I walk in that joint, we're bubbling up. Like we're,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to like take care of your own space, right? And I think that that's a really good tool for people who are really empathic and really feeling all of the things is the bubble of peace. And I really like the bubble of peace because for me, it's not about shutting out everybody else's energy. It's really about it's about discernment. It's about my energy field, allowing my energy field to be very discerning about what's coming in and what's exiting. So if you're like an energy leaker, Robin and I talked about this the other day, which is that a lot of times in the beginning, when you're really feeling the energy, your hands will sweat, your feet will sweat. If your hands and your feet are sweating, you're leaking energy. You are leaking out your own life force. And so one of the things that you can do is you can get really grounded and you can sort of bring some of that energy back in a little bit. Right. So rein it back in a little, maybe, I love the pink bubble of peace because it's really soft and loving. And I always see it from that higher chakra, the higher heart chakra point of view. So when I think of my bubble of peace, it's always that there's a pink bubble around me. It can only allow in that which is for my highest good. It can only allow out that which is for my highest good. But it's this pink light. So it's soft, it's loving, it's kind. It doesn't feel so harsh as some other things for me. But the energy leaking. So if you're leaking energy, it's time for you to rein some things back in again and pay attention to whether you're running Reiki or you're running your own life force.
Yeah. Well, if you're worn out after a session, that's not Reiki.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If you're worn out, you're running your own life force. If you feel depleted, you're running your own energy. And that can be very powerful, but it can be very depleting for a person as well.
And it's not good. You don't want to give away your life force energy.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
The other thing, energetic boundaries. Well, in hygiene, this kind of comes both is the smudging or coming through with incense. My daughter's very mindful of other cultures and their
cultural appropriation.
She's very much like, we can't use Palo Santo. I'm like, I'm Native American in my blood. I'm using it, whether you like it or not. Too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I use it all.
And I love the smell of it. Like sage is okay, but the smell of the Palo Santo is.
I love Palo Santo. Just make sure it's sourced well.
Yeah. Right. But we use our incense and we use our little cones. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Little incense cones, little resin cones.
I think I have some in here somewhere, but yeah, little cones. And then I have my diffusers going with different oils and, smudging the house is a big one. Like when the ex comes and if it's been like mucky, like I'll have to smudge the house and then open the windows and then I'll come back through. I'll use sage, which I grow in my backyard. And then I'll come through and I have a lot of like dried lavender and I will just lavender the house after. And then
Oh,
I'll
I
turn
love that.
my diffusers on. And I always remind myself, like, okay, I've released this. I've cleaned out the negative energy, but what am I calling in? Because if I don't say out loud what I'm calling in to the space, it's just going to fill back up with what it's used to.
That's right. That's law of vacuum, right?
Mm-hmm. So I always will be like, I'm calling in peace. I'm calling in,
Yes.
love, and, whatever the feeling is, that I would joy, happiness. And, I do it that's kind of how I run with that.
Absolutely. And then you can go around and chokure the corners of the space, right?
Well, when I start outside of my door with the door closed, and I will clean the door, and then I'll seheki it, and then I'll chokure it, and then I come in the house, and then I start, clockwise and go through the house. And then if there's any certain areas that there's a lot of heaviness, I will really take the time and chokure it and seheki it, and I have my kind of my way of doing. If Katie and I, my older daughter, are really trying to clean, like we've cleaned houses before energetically, she's really good at that. Like she'll stop and she's like, there's something here.
Yeah, I love clearing space.
It's really,
it's so satisfying.
yeah. It took us one time 2.5 hours to clear my sister's house.
Oh my.
Yeah. There was a lot
going on there. Yeah.
Well, and if you think about it, all the energies of people that have been in and out of the house, and even before she lived there.
Yes.
She wasn't the first owner of the house.
Right.
So yeah, that was a good one. So crystals. So I actually cleared her and my nephew with well, I Reiki'd her really well, but my nephew I cleared, and I smudged her as well. I don't do my nephew because he has really bad asthma. So I don't really smudge him or sage him very much.
Yeah,
Because
it's too much.
But I have my different, selenite.
I love selenite.
Yeah, I use that for something. I don't know. It's black on the end, but
weird.
Yeah. I think I used it for activated charcoal.
How funny.
I was again something for my sister for a bath.
You hippie.
Again, I made her a salt bath with activated charcoal and a bunch of other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And then selenite,
if we're gonna show off our selenite, look at this piece.
That's like a sword. Like a selenite.
Isn't it beautiful?
Amazing.
I keep it below my table, but I also keep it below my underneath my desk, and I keep my feet on it.
Oh, love that. I might have to steal that idea.
That little flat piece that you have would be nice for that.
Yeah,
I know. Isn't it beautiful, Mary? That would be perfect for under your desk to put your feet on.
I probably should grab another one because they go missing in my house. And then I got to go room to room to collect my crap,
That's what crystals do too. They're like little fairies, like come around and move the things, and they love to move crystals and rocks and oils.
Oh, oils disappear constantly. I'm like, I know. And then like a month later, there's like 5 of the same oil opened because I always have a backlog of them. Yeah. So what do I have here? Smoky quartz, black obsidian,
Beautiful.
And again, I don't use my crystals as much, and I'm by far not the crystal expert at all. Like I will put that out there right now. I'm a novice when it comes to crystals, but these are the ones that, my daughter tells me what I need.
Those are your grounding crystals.
Yeah. I feel like these are my protective, if you will, crystals. Yeah. Not that I feel like I need protection. The other one I use a lot, and it's one of my favorites, is rose quartz. Again, being a ruling 6 and all about love. Yeah, this is just one of them. I have hearts and stuff other places, but again, things disappear. Actually, I had a rose quartz and a smoky quartz in my car, and it disappeared after a car wash. I took the car to the car wash, and the rose quartz disappeared. And I was like, okay, I guess you needed it more than I
needed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's right. I love that.
My amethyst.
The amethyst. Yeah. Bless you. Aw, is that a little selenite heart?
Clear quartz.
Oh, clear quartz. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really pretty. Like I said, I have a rose one somewhere. So yeah, I have my crystals. My essential oils are huge. Energetic hygiene, Reiki for sure. But I have to tell you, I clear myself a lot and everybody else, but I feel like, and it's been a while. Claire and I work together. I just love Claire's energy with Reiki. Oh, she's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
And I love it when Claire and I can get together and she can give me a Reiki session. I am like a noodle after.
I love that.
I mean, she just clears me and again calls me on my shit. She's like, I'm feeling you. I'm like, yeah. Okay.
It's good to utilize the people in our space who are other Reiki practitioners to get your Reiki, because that's what happens with practitioners is we frequently don't get sessions from people. I might be talking to myself.
Let me know if you need a session.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay.
Good talk.
We'll put one on the calendar. For me, Reiki, but again, I love getting Reiki. I mean, not that I'm not getting Reiki when I'm giving, but it's different. I'm turned. Different. I'm on. Yeah, I'm on.
It's different when you're just receiving.
Yeah.
You should be receiving once a month.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I would recommend for my clients. Like, of course, that's what we should be doing too for ourselves.
Yeah. Maybe we need to set up some sessions in this joint.
I think that's a great idea. Would you like to organize that?
Sure. Great. Yeah, I'll put something out in the group and then we can all kind of buddy up and I think it's really important again, because I feel like when I'm getting Reiki, I'm just in it. I allow it. But when you're actually doing it, all my clairs are turned on. I'm working.
Yeah, you're on. You're thinking.
Yeah, working.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are at 31 minutes, and I think that this was a great conversation, and we are going to be back next week with more on this topic. We're going to talk more about energetic boundaries and energetic hygiene. I think it's a consistent, constant conversation to be having. But we're also going to be talking about, do we want to have the empath conversation next week? Like the real empath, highly sensitive. Is that what we were thinking? I have it just on my little sheet of paper here.
Let me check my calendar.
Check your calendar, sister.
I write everything down.
Yeah, old lady.
Can't help myself. Yeah, I'm archaic. It's not on the phone. Yeah, 15th, empath. Yeah.
So on the 15th, which is Wyatt's birthday, which is a 10 of Diamonds day. It's the 15th. It's a 10 of Diamonds day, and it's a 5-day. It's Wyatt's day.
Double Wyatt's day. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a 5 and the 10 of Diamonds. It's his birthday. So here we go. We're going to come in and talk about what that looks like. And maybe we should bring in a conversation about our kids.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Those highly sensitive children, those empath children. Yeah,
that's right. So we'll make an event for that next session, and we're going to make a regular thing of this, and we're going to continue to come in and have these conversations. I think they're really powerful.
Thank you. This was lovely.
And if any of you want to join us in conversation, please let us know. Please reach out in the group, reach out to one of us and see if that feels like a good thing for us to do. We can do it in Zoom. We can keep doing it live, whatever that looks like, whatever feels good to people. We're just experimenting here.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, everybody.
I'm going to get into the group and I'm going to send out, I'll do a post on who wants to buddy up in Reiki, to get some Reiki partners going. So
awesome.
Thanks so much.
Okay. We'll see you all soon. Bye, everybody. Bye, Mary.